A brand of menstrual products, the brand Always, which is a good name for a brand of menstrual products, I suppose. They always work, right? Better than a brand like called Occasionally or something. I have to stop riffing on menstrual products and just get to it. The point is, this brand has on its packaging the Venus symbol, and it's the circle with a cross beneath it. This is a symbol that universally means woman, which makes sense to have on your packaging, right? If it's a menstrual thing, because it's a menstrual product, so you've got a symbol that represents people who menstruate. Makes a lot of sense, you would think. Well, trans activists were not happy about it because they came in, the trans activists did, and they made the point that sometimes men menstruate. Just like sometimes polar bears fly, sometimes squirrels do calculus. These things happen. Anything's happen. There are no rules. Science is a myth. And that's how it is. And Procter & Gamble, which owns the brand Always, and is a big, massive, huge, scary corporation. They own approximately every brand at the grocery store. But they caved to the complaints of these gender-confused individuals and said, okay, we'll take the symbol off. And they did. Because an enormous multinational corporation was bullied into agreeing that sometimes men get periods. Now, there was a lot of talk of menstruating men this weekend, unfortunately, because Period Day also happened. There was the holiday Period Day, which is a thing. I don't know if you celebrate it, but I guess we're supposed to celebrate periods or something. Yet the trans activists came barging in yet again, as they always do, and made the point that actually this should be about them. Because that's always their point, isn't it? With anything. Their point is, hey, you know what, guys? This shit's really about me, isn't it? So Twitter was filled with a bunch of people saying, hey, if we're doing Period Day, remember, men can get periods. Now, let me give you an example of one such tweet that I responded to because I happened across. This is just one example of someone, just to give you an idea of what people were saying. It says, hashtag National Period Day. Remember that, the person said, remember that trans women can get periods. Yes, trans women. When speaking on the subject of periods, don't limit the conversation to cis women only, because our trans sisters are experiencing the same, and it's wrong to cut them out. Now, this is important. I wanted to read that to you because you need to realize we're talking here about, and I know this can get confusing sometimes because all this gender stuff on the left is madness. None of it makes any sense. It's all nonsense. So it's easy to lose track. But I want you to appreciate how insane this is. When someone on the left says men can get periods, they could be talking about biological females who identify as men. And yes, that's true that those people can get periods because they aren't really men. And that fact, that's kind of the thing that reveals that to you. That's the giveaway, is the fact that they're having a period, which means they are men. If you find yourself in a situation where you're having a period, it means you're not a man. It at least means that. So that will clarify that situation for you. And your second clue that you're not a man is literally everything else about you. Literally everything. But, just to be clear, the left is also claiming that men, biological males, actual men, can have periods. That's what this tweet and a lot of people, that's what they're saying. When they say trans women can get periods, what they mean is biological males can menstruate. That is the claim. Now, I happen to get into a back and forth with this particular person on Twitter who wrote this, and they defended their assertion by saying, and I'm not kidding, they said that that biological males can menstruate because sometimes they get bloated and they have stomach cramps. Not joking. That was the argument. Proving that biological males can menstruate by saying, oh, wait, what are you saying that you're saying that biological males don't get stomach cramps? Which is like saying that a dog is essentially the same as a tuna because both can swim. Oh, you say a dog isn't a fish? Well, here's a picture of my dog swimming in our backyard pool. Checkmate, science denier. When it gets to this point where you have people sincerely claiming that biological males can menstruate, there's no argument you can present. Because any argument that you do present is going to be grounded in reality. And what the left is now saying is reality doesn't matter. It simply makes no difference what the actual reality is. So what can you do? Well, I'll tell you one thing we can't do is just ignore this. Because or treat it as a sideshow or as an irrelevant issue. The left they are waging a war on reality itself. That's why when I go to colleges and I give talks, one of the talks I give is the war on reality. This is a war on reality. That's why this matters. It's not just now. If this was 20 years ago, okay, and you had someone saying biological males can menstruate, then yeah, you could laugh that off and say, oh, okay, person's crazy. It's still crazy, but this is something that the left they are trying to establish a culture where that kind of claim is accepted as perfectly true and normal. Hey, you right there. Hit the subscribe button right now. Do it right now. I thank you for your compliance. It's somewhat appreciated.